In this video, I will demonstrate how to perform a z-test using the p-value method. We are provided with an example. Let's read through the example. It states the following. Assume that a professor wants to study the average time students spend in tutoring per week. He claims that students spend an average of more than 6 hours per week in tutoring. The population standard deviation is 1.56 hours. He samples a random group of 30 students and finds the sample mean is 7.2 hours. Use the p-value method to test a claim at alpha is 0.01. When performing the p-value method, step 1 is we have to state the claim, determine h sub naught and h sub 1. H sub naught is also known as the null hypothesis or H naught. So the claim, and we can use this sentence here that has the word claim in it. Students spend an average of more than 6 hours per week. So the claim is that the mean is greater than 6. Since we're using a greater than symbol, it should be an H1 statement. So it's an H sub 1 statement, not an H naught statement. H naught is mean equal to 6. So that's our first step, is to determine the claim, H naught and H sub 1. Now in step 2, we have to compute the test point using the Z formula, x bar minus mu divided by sigma over radical n. X bar is the sample mean, 7.2. Mu is 6, so mu is equal to 6. The population standard deviation is 1.56. N is 30. We type this into our calculator and compute to get 4.21. Our next step is we have to look up the tail area of 4.21. So the tail area is this area here. We will use this tail area to determine the p-value. Well, if we look up 4.21 in table E, at the bottom of the table, it states that for any z-value that's greater than 3.49, the area to the left is 0.9999. Thus, the area to the left is 0.9999. We want the area to the right, so 1 minus 0.9999 is 0.0001. Okay, we can use this area to determine the p-value. So we have to compute the p-value. So if the test has one tail, the p-value equals the tail area. That's the case in our example. We only have one tail. Thus, our p-value is 0.0001. However, if there were two tails, then the p-value would be twice the tail area. That is not the case in this example. Since the test has one tail, the p-value is 0.0001. We now have to make a decision regarding H naught. The rules are as follows. If the p-value is less than or equal to alpha, reject H naught. If the p-value is greater than alpha, do not reject H naught. Since the p-value is 0.0001, and that's less than alpha, which is 0.01, we reject H naught. And then the final step is to write a summary statement. We can use this flow chart. The claim is H sub 1. We rejected H naught. Thus the summary is that there is enough evidence to support the claim. Thanks for watching the video.